All right, I think we're going to get started. We have a little bit of a scheduling issue in the back they're trying to straighten out, but might as well get going for the rest of you. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Village of Royal Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing for Wednesday, November 10th, 2021. My name is Doug McGibbon. I'm the Special Magistrate. The first thing I'm going to do is swear everyone in. So everyone who's over 18, please raise your right hand and say I do when we're done. Does everyone swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say I do. The young lady is using her left hand. You need to work on that. All right. Most of the cases that will come before me this evening are either violation cases or fine assessment cases. When you hear your name called, you're going to go up to the podium over there and you're going to tell us who you are and what your address is. The village will show you some documents. They'll ask you if you object or not. They'll put on their case. You get to respond and put on your case, ask the code enforcement officer any questions you have, and then I get to make a decision. That switches when we get to the fine mitigation cases. Those people have been here twice for a violation hearing and a fine assessment hearing, and they're asking for relief, so they get to go first, and the village gets to respond. They're still working on whether or not they got an email from somebody, so.
Give us 1 second, sorry.
Not a problem. Just want to keep everyone else here. They need to get their lotto ticket.
Who usually sets this up? You're not seeing anything on your screen, are you? Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yes, I am. I'm seeing File Explorer.
Yeah.
More technical difficulties. Okay.
We're gonna have to call. Do you have Raymond's phone number? Or Aya? Somebody on Aya's standby? Do you want to know where it is?
I doubt if it's in program files.
It says code. That number?
All right, we seem to be having more technical difficulties.
Yeah, we can't find the photos. Our PowerPoint.
You said it says code. Sorry about that, sir. We're ready.
Okay. Call your first case.
Thank you, sir. Amity Barnard, Assistant Village Attorney. We're starting on page 1 of the agenda. Page 2 of the agenda. Violation hearing, case 21-0580. 104 Bilbao Street, Sharon Brathwaite and Duane R. Burrows.
Okay.
Margaret Hancock, Code Enforcement Officer for the Village of Royal Palm Beach, Code Section 06190, A, 3 and 5, sidewalk and driveway, Christine. I observed this violation on 7/15/21, sent out a notice of violation on 7/15/21, notice of hearing on 29/23/21. I posted the notice of violation. Like then of the following documents and evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation of public service. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification owner. Exhibit 4, pictures. And I should have had that in Exhibit 6 for navigation compliance.
Oh, well, you're close.
Is here, Chi-Chi.
Okay, so you have service via posting, and then you have a signed green card later. I assume that's for the hearing notice. You have service.
Can you state your name for the record, sir?
Duane Burrows.
Thank you, sir. I gave it to them already. The packet of paper I just handed you, that's the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, I'm gonna tell you what they are, and then I'm gonna ask at the end if you have any objection. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation and the affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the notice of hearing. Exhibit 3 is verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4 is a photograph. The photograph should be on the screen in front of you on the computer. Do you have any objection to those documents?
Up there.
Photograph. Oh,
It should be on that.
It's on my screen. I don't know about the rest of you. But he fixed it, right?
On the big screen.
Okay, so that's 921.
And it's up on the screen now.
no objection other than, it appears worse than it really looks when it's raining out. But
No, it's admitted without objection.
yeah,
You've got an affidavit of compliance.
Yeah.
We're just working our way through this process till we say you're okay.
It's a finding of fact, so it's compliant.
Yeah, that's why I thought.
Yep.
So they're saying that you cleaned up your sidewalk and your driveway, and it's okay now, but don't do it again, basically.
Yes, sir.
Which is setting you up for a repeat violation, but you just kind of have to know, at the end of the or at the end of the rainy season, it's a good time for you to clean up your driveway.
yes, sir.
It's just about time for me to do the same thing, except I get to do my driveway and my fence. Because I don't paint my fence and it comes out beautiful, but then it gets mildewy over the rainy season. It's life in Florida. So finding fact,
Yes, sir.
Finding of fact.
Thank you.
granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For the hard work.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
You'll get an order in the mail,
Yes, sir.
and just, next time you see a notice, just make sure it's done. Okay?
Thank you.
Next, we're going to page 3, second one down, case 21-0798, 134 A Weybridge Circle 1, A Garza, and Renisha Jackson.
Code sections 9-1, replace the fence without a permit. I observed this violation on 9/7/21, sent out a notice of violation on 9/10/21, got USPS tracking. Sent out a notice of hearing on 10/20/21, and got tracking on that as well. Like then are the following documents and evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, USPS tracking. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing, USPS tracking. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, AS400 permit information.
Please, sir, tell us who you are and where you live.
Renisha Garza.
Juan Garza. We live and are the owners at 134 Weybridge Circle, Unit A.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. And those documents that I handed to you, those are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. I'm going to explain to you what they are, and then at the end I'm going to ask you if you have any objection. Exhibit 1, the first page, is the notice of violation with the USPS tracking showing it was delivered. Exhibit 2 is the notice of hearing for tonight's hearing. Exhibit 3 is verification of ownership. Exhibit 4 is pictures, which will appear on the screen momentarily, a picture of the violation. And Exhibit 5 is the village's ISO 400 permit information. Do you have any objection to the documents?
Yes. USPS address is incorrect. We corrected our address, it should have come to 134 Weybridge Circle A, so that's one objection. And it was verified with USPS back in at least May or June, so that address is incorrect.
Okay, so it really doesn't matter because you're here and you
Okay.
got notice.
Yep.
I mean, if it was something more formal, like that's not our house, that would be a better
Yeah.
objection.
Okay, understandable.
So, you know,
And
And just so you know that the address the village is required to use is what's on the property appraiser website, which still shows that address that it was sent to.
and under state law, they are required to send the notice to the address on the property appraiser's website. Is this property,
Or the tax collector,
collector's
or-
website?
Or the property appraiser, either one.
So you need to fix the address with the tax collector or property appraiser so they get it to you because they're required to follow state law.
Thank
And
you.
that's why if these things come back, they also tend to post them. But this one didn't because your mailman probably knows your name or addresses. All right, so admitted over objections, and I see a lovely fence, and I see.
There's- Well, not to interrupt you, but the second, can I state
Sure,
a
go
second?
ahead.
Oh, the second objection was that it was stated that we replaced the fence. We did not replace the fence. We repaired it.
Well, it looks like you repaired all of it.
No, but if you were to take a look at the interior, the posts are still existing from.
Oh, so
from
you're claiming that the 4x4 posts were remaining and then everything else was replaced.
Well, just the boards on the outside that you see on the exterior. It was only just to beautify the fence.
Okay, do you also know that if you replace more than 10% of your fence on any one side, you have to get a permit?
No, because they directed us to section 9.1 and it didn't say anything about that.
Well, that's the rules here in the village.
Because we looked up the section 9.1 and it only specifies if you construct or build a fence that you would need a permit. I didn't see anything on the website stating
Okay.
about.
Well, traditionally, the leaving 4x4 posts is not a repair. It is a replacement if you're replacing all the pickets.
If
No,
we're
no.
replacing all the what?
No,
So,
all the pickets weren't replaced. A lot of them were used from existing prior. So they were just never painted. But in fact, I mean, when it comes to fencing with wood and materials, they expand and contract with heat. Well, some of those boards were warped. So the only way of really replacing them is actually to get a new one. So from that aspect, it was simply just a repair.
okay, well, you can call it a repair. They're going to call it a replacement.
It is. In the village, the interpretation over the years of the code, the building official makes a determination, as the magistrate said, it's 10%. Once you hit the 10% threshold, you're required to get that permit.
Is there any stating of that? I just out of curiosity, is there anywhere that's
Now,
stated?
it's up to me to determine whether it's repaired or replaced.
Oh, okay. No, I just didn't know.
And I'm the guy who's the decider on that, and my decision is it's been replaced. So that makes it nice and simple.
So replace, because we put new boards. The
Yes.
posts are still the same, the 4x4s are still the same.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're saying that more than 10%?
Yes.
But that was never
But
originally stated when she gave us the notice.
Well, not only that, but
You know, y'all are complaining about something that's going to be fairly simple, but
no, I'm not.
if,
No,
you know, if you want to go to talk to the building department, it's fairly easy. You could have called them and asked.
I
No,
did,
we-
after the fact.
we
So-
did, but they just kept on referring us to section 9.1. So
Nothing
whenever-
about 10%.
Okay,
No,
well,
I'm just stating
that is the interpretation of the
Okay.
building department to give their definition of repair or replace. You can argue this all day long. I've been here 12 years. I've heard that consistent definition given by the last 3 town attorneys, at least, maybe 4. So they are being very consistent in their application. This is your house, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You have a homestead exemption on this place? So you are able to qualify as an owner builder and pull a permit for your fence?
Yeah,
Like I did when I built my fence in the village.
right.
So,
But that's a bit.
so yeah, I got a permit. I got my inspections.
But was that repairing an existing, or was that just building from scratch?
That was building from scratch, but it doesn't matter
Oh.
because no matter how much you're going to argue this, you're going to lose.
No, I'm
I
just.
mean,
I'm just trying to-
I'm telling you right now that
No, this
the
is
work
just.
the work I see here, is more than the 10%, which would require a permit. The permits are very small.
Oh, right,
And
right.
if you're arguing about, not getting permits, they just want to make sure it's structurally sound
Right.
so that it won't blow over in our next hurricane.
Right, and no, and don't confuse this engagement as far as with arguing. It's just for clarity because I'm in
Okay.
construction as well, so that's where things kind of got a little bit murky for me.
Well,
But I mean,
in construction, don't you usually get permits for things?
yeah, but that's when we're constructing from new. Like for instance,
So if you replace like a water heater or an air conditioner, you wouldn't get a permit because that's just a replacement?
well, that's a replacement of the whole unit, right? I mean,
So
it's
you're
like-
you're arguing that if you replace 90% of it, it's still
no,
just a repair?
no. I'm not arguing anything. I just for my mindset, it was just
There's nothing wrong with the word argument. I've spent 30-something years as a career arguing about things usually in front of judges. You
No,
know,
I
that's
mean,
just a
it's just-
definition of, you know, opposing points of view being pushed forward. But
right.
I'm telling you that if you have replaced more than 10% of the pickets in your fence, you know, no matter whether you've left the original post in the same position,
Or if
that
we-
is considered the Royal Palm Beach Code as it has been applied for at least the last dozen years.
And
So
just
all
for
you have to do is
just for
pull the
clarity, it's
permit,
10% of any one side.
any
So
one
it's not
side.
10%
Yeah, it's even
overall.
worse.
It's
10
any
per-
one side.
And, you know, I replaced like a half a dozen pickets on my fence this year. You know, but I probably have 400, 300, somewhere in there.
Right.
So ain't no big deal. I mean, yeah. So all you need to do is go get a fence permit.
Right.
You're an owner builder. You can pull it yourself. All you have to do is get the permit issued and then go get it inspected.
Right.
It's not a like big deal.
No, I mean,
So, all right. So what do you want on these people?
We're asking for compliance by December 30th, which gives them plenty of time to get the permit, or appearance at the January 12th fine assessment hearing if necessary, or a $25 per day fine.
So they're saying that you need to get your fence permitted by December 30th, which should be fairly simple.
yeah, I agree. I was just trying to get clarity on the matter. I mean,
So you've got clarity now. You need a permit.
all right, I'm for that.
Okay. We'll get you an order in the mail.
I'm not trying to be a big.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. It's not even a big argument. It's just, you know, you put forth your position. It's good.
Yeah,
all
I'm just real picky on the word argument. I like to use discussion, but I mean, it's a matter of choice.
No, you go to an appeals court and they call it oral argument.
Right.
You know, they don't call it oral discussion. You appear before the U.S. Supreme Court. It's not a discussion. You're making an argument before a court. That's
Right.
kind of what you're doing on a little
Alright.
level
I
here.
understand. Got it.
Okay.
Thank you. Next
very much.
next case is 21-0808 117 J Court, TAH 2017-2 Borrower LLC.
Code section is 2318B, parking on the back lawn. I observed this violation on 9/9/21. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 9/10/21. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. And I did not print out an affidavit of compliance.
Oh, okay. So this is just another finding of fact. which
It is, but now, because I, on the violation, I stated that they were parking in the back lawn, and now it's on the front lawn, so I get to start over.
Oh, well, that's a new thing.
Your name for the record, ma'am?
Tell us your name, please.
Jamie Tejeda, and the address is 117 J
hold
Court
on.
Road, Palm Beach 33411.
And what,
spell your last
spell
name?
your last name, please.
Tejera.
And the packet of information I just handed you is the exhibits the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation and notice of hearing with the affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 is the photograph that you will see on the screen in a second.
Okay.
Do you have any objection to these documents?
Okay, it says here that it was, they left a notification on the 9th, September 9, which I never received. The first thing I got, it was the notification for the hearing. So I did call Miss Margaret when I received it, and I requested her to so she can explain that. She told me the front of the boat needed to be on top of the driveway, so that's why we did it. My
The very
husband was
tongue, though.
Mhm.
Only the very tongue of the boat could have been there.
it's on the
now
driveway.
it protrudes past. There's another photo.
So
Where's the other photo? Okay.
so I explained it to her that it was a big boat, that I didn't even know if it was gonna fit completely in the front yard. So she told me when we fix it, I can give her a call so she can go and see if it worked. Because my husband works a lot of the time out of state, we were able to do it yesterday. So I called her in the afternoon and I called her today in the morning. She went and she said she never realized it was that big. So now,
I couldn't see it past the fence. I can only see the front
yeah,
of the boat.
but we talked.
Can't
I
see how
really
large
said
it is.
it was big that I didn't even know if it was gonna fit in the front. And you said the lawn of the boat couldn't be on the sidewalk, so
Just
it's
the
not on
very
the
front
sidewalk.
of the tongue.
Yeah,
not
it's not
that
on the
much of it.
sidewalk.
So the boat is just way too big for the property.
So you.
And we also talked about moving the fence. That would have given you more room on the
Yeah,
side
but
of the
it's-
house, but it still wouldn't fit. That boat is just way too big. You're gonna have to.
So here in Royal Palm Beach,
relocate it.
you're not allowed to have a boat that big.
Well, no.
If it
fits
I don't
to
know
the
if he's
parking
really
code.
saying this properly. I think the boat needs to be in the front yard on pavers or on concrete.
But I'd like to keep
Yeah,
this to the
yeah.
citation here is to the backyard
Yeah, I know.
parking,
I'm
not
just
to the
trying
front
explain
yard.
these things. And if we're going to the second photo, it appears that the tongue of the trailer is on the concrete, but the rest of the trailer is on the grass,
Yes.
and that's the problem.
Yeah. They
Now,
can
if
get
they,
a
If they
permit.
had a poured side yard that's not grass, and that
Right.
boat was exactly where it is, and it was all on concrete, it would be okay, correct?
Explain to her she could get a driveway permit. Yes.
Yeah, the
So
thing
that's,
is,
that's what I'm saying.
whatever portion of the boat extends in front of the house must be on pavement. Okay.
Well,
So
that's
the
the-
issue is that one side of the trailer is not on the pavement.
Exactly.
It's on the lawn. The thing is, we're renters there, so we can extend the driveway. So,
Yeah,
you know,
that's the problem is.
it's a
you're-
problem,
you're-
and that's actually, we've been there for a year and a half, and we always had a boat, so there was not an issue before. And that was actually why we rented here, because we were looking for a house that had the space to have the boat. And so we never realized, because before we had it on the back.
I
And
did
it
talk
was,
to her husband before
yeah, we
about
had it on the back, and then one day he had it on the front, and you saw it,
It
and
was
you
a
told
different
him
boat.
it needed to be on the driveway, so we did put it there. It was a smaller boat,
Right.
so it got sold, and we got this one, and it's been on the backyard for months already. So yeah, we didn't realize it was still being a problem, because before the door was open, so we thought because it was on the back lawn, the door were open. We didn't always try.
Well, we actually have it out of the backyard, no longer in the back, and not on visit.
Okay, and where can,
That's over by Costco.
okay, and
It's
where
across-
can I get that information?
It'll probably be on the website or call them.
Okay,
That's what it
okay.
is. Yeah, but it's
That's not a 32
Oh, yeah,
foot boat.
so when you add
The tongue, your
over 40 feet. Be on the front, I'm like,
one was a simple. You're going to be fine on
Please.
it's permitted. Case is going to be, and you're going to.
because it's a
Well, if you put it
Oh.
somewhere else,
In the backyard again, then it would be a repeat
okay,
violation.
okay. So I kind of like a different thing because
yeah,
it was
you're
in
going
the
to have
back
more
and now
time
it's
on the
front.
next one because you're
Okay.
going to be a new violation again.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then
Okay.
if you come here in December, I'm really good in December. I like to give away everything.
Oh, yeah.
Friday.
Okay, okay, perfect.
Yeah, pretty boat.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Next is the case right above that one, 21-0791, 9970 Belvedere Road, Intel Group LLC.
Code section 622-108.4, work without a permit and signs are prohibited. I observed this violation on 9/2/21, sent out notice of violation on 9/3/21, and I got the tracking on it at 9/7/21, sent out notice of hearing on 10/20/21, and it was delivered USPS tracking on 10/26/21. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, USPS tracking. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing, USPS tracking. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. And Exhibit 5, AS 400 permit information.
Sir, your name for the record?
Good evening, Justin Polk, and I represent Mosaic Red Hat Group. We are the operator of that restaurant there, so we're responsible for what's going on.
Thank you, sir. The documents that I just handed you are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of violation with the USPS tracking information. Exhibit 2 is the notice of hearing with the same USPS tracking. Exhibit 3 is verification of ownership. Exhibit 4 is photographs, which are on the screen. And Exhibit 5 is the ASO 400 permit information of the village.
Yes, all that looks accurate.
Do you have any
Proceed
objection to
at
those?
this time.
Thank you.
Okay, admitted without objection. I was going to make a comment that you were like blocks away from my mother's house in Miami, but it's not you, it's the property.
That's the property owner, yes, sir.
All right, so,
I came all the way down from Orlando, so.
oh, it would have been easier from Miami.
Yep.
So they're saying that they replaced a part of the wall, I guess?
Yeah, it's apparently somebody hit the wall, and it also damaged the wall on the inside of the building. And as you can see here, it's fixed, and here it's damaged.
Okay, so, yeah, they're saying you probably should have had a permit because you probably have structural concerns about this.
Quite possible, especially with the wall inside being damaged as well.
Yeah.
And just for the record, Special Magistrate 20-41, which is the signs prohibited, that's a finding of fact.
All right, 2041, let me draw up my little Venn diagram here. All right, so the sign has been taken care of.
Yes, sir.
You just need to permit the.
And the pod that was in the original notice, which I noticed you
It's
didn't have
gone.
in the letter, that was taken care of, yeah. We just had some
everything
new
else is
equipment.
good except for the
Work without a permit.
building permit part. This is a violation hearing. They're probably going to give you till the end of December to
Yeah,
correct
compliance by
this.
Give you just some quick background. We had recently remodeled that store early in the year. Spent almost $1 million remodel. And yes, unfortunately, one night somebody ran into the store. We did have the same contractor come back out. It wasn't structural; it was just cosmetic. Obviously, they had to do an immediate shore up the building because we had a
Oh,
hole
yeah,
in it.
well, emergency repair, not a
Yep.
problem.
But since then, I did receive the notice originally on 9/2, left 2 messages with the villages that went unreturned, and we had taken care of the pod. I couldn't actually read the note, but I never to get this.
State
But-
law, they're
Did try to contact, but thread, we had a show issue,
you've
so
done-
the flush through the building will be taken care of.
all right. So let's give them till the end of January and do the February hearing. Can we do that instead of the end of December, since he's already somewhat in the process.
And just obviously, November, December can be slower months with the permit, but I've already engaged an architect to go ahead and do a sketch we needed.
Oh, shoot, look at that, a paper calendar.
Oh, it's
People
so
still have
bad.
those?
Looks like a
It's
little black book.
Yeah, 1985, coming right back here. February hearing date would be the 9th.
Okay, so it's 2/9, so give him 2/2 a week before.
Yeah, that works.
2/2, 2/9/25.
Would we come back, or if everything's flushed through the building department, it just
If everything's good and you should be able to talk to the building department signs off on it, they'll tell code enforcement.
Yeah. And we
they'll
do have
go
the
in.
building.
No, but
the
I'll
permit
look it
open.
up.
What?
They won't tell me, but I'll look it up.
He'll look it up. Talk to
I'll let her
call,
know.
call Margaret. Margaret will listen to you. And she'll see if you're cleared. If you're cleared, I'm a trial attorney. Do yourself a favor. I love proof. Just say this will confirm that I
Yes.
have been excused,
I've learned the
and
emails we need.
get the email back that says yes, you have. And that way, if anything else happens, you go, but I was excused.
Yep, no problem.
It's all good. Everyone good?
Yes.
2222.
2222.
That's a tongue
Or
twister.
2922.
or $25 a day. Granted.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Y'all are good.
22.
Thank you. 2222. I will live here too.
Okay, now we're going to page 4, the fine mitigations. There are 2. I'll read them both into the record with the same people. The first case is 15-303-1043 Moonlight Way, Jose D. Ortiz. The second case is 16-1281-1043 Moonlight Way, Jose D. Ortiz.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance. And for case 16-1281, I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
We have two different orders assessing fines on the same day.
And for your notes, Special Magistrate, in case 15-303, the fine amount is $57,700. And in case 16-1281, the fine amount is $46,150.
Okay. And who is Jose Ortiz?
No, Victor, you said that.
Okay, Victor. And what is your relationship to the property, Victor?
I'm in the owner right now.
All right. Because they have down Jose as the owner.
He is the last person the owner for that property.
Okay. All right, so Jose ran up some big old fines here. And what is your relationship to Jose?
We friend of mine. He buy the house in 2011, and he rented, but he lived to Dominican Republic, and I contact him when I saw the ticket. I contact him. He told me he never received anything because he lived in Dominican Republic for 5 years, and he come back December 16th. He come back to United States.
To California. And then his wife was got cancer, and we kind of like lose communication or nothing. So we got back, talked to them again, and they didn't know anything about it. I mean, it's kind of like they forgot. So the house is under our name, under his name, my husband now. So we find out about this not long ago.
Okay. And you're not related?
No, we're not related.
Okay. The Spanish Smith.
I'm sorry, sir?
The Spanish version of Smith.
Yes.
Very common. Ortiz, Gonzalez, Fernandez, common Spanish names. Okay, so they're not related. And
Well,
obviously.
his last name is Uceta.
He said
Who
that
said that?
UCETA.
He has a different last name.
Okay, I just had him down as Victor Ortiz.
UCETA.
All right. And they're trying to get these fines reduced. All right. And what do you suggest as a reduction, or why should they be reduced, and what amounts are you asking to be reduced to?
Well, right now, I don't work. He's the only one working. We have 3 kids, and we won't be able to. I don't know how we're gonna afford the fines.
And we don't know anything about it. So, I'm too responsible for everything and never have a problem. And when I take the house, I do a lot of changes to the house. Hey. So, I put a new kitchen. I fixed a lot of things in the house because that property is the disaster when I take it,
Mm-hmm. All right, what's the village's position?
Unfortunately, these were recorded liens in the public record, so I'm not sure how they didn't know when they bought the house.
Believe me, I see foreclosure people who do that all the time.
Well, that's one thing. They bought it via quick claim deed, so.
Yeah,
But
and believe me, most people who are actual real people don't go check the public record. They don't even know how.
they must have bought it without a mortgage, because
Without a
usually the lender
mortgage or
requires
without
that.
mortgage insurance. So
Right. We're not opposing reduction. Our number is $11,981.86 on the first case, payable by 2/10/22, and in the second case, we'd be amenable to reducing it to $9,673.05, payable by 2/10/22.
all right, they're looking at about 45 or about a 75% reduction on these liens, and you can't afford those either, can you? That's going to be $20,000.
So how are going to like how the payments are, like how we're gonna pay.
The problem with this is you are going to have to pay these in one lump sum. It's never going to happen. How much can you pay to release these liens in a
Well,
lump sum?
Right now,
Right now, seriously.
to be honest with you, I don't know. I
Are
don't
they
know. I
trying
was,
to sell the house? What
I
is the reason for getting rid of the liens? Are you trying to refinance or sell?
No, we actually we wanted to do something like that, but then we saw that the market is going crazy, so we decided that that's how we find out about all this stuff. I don't work. I used to work 2 years ago, but I was diagnosed with glaucoma, and I lost part of my right eye, so I haven't worked since then, and it's really tough right now for us. He's the only one working, so I don't know how we will. I mean, I don't know how we're going to be able to pay.
Okay, so you're not trying to sell the house?
We're not trying to sell a house right now.
Not trying to refinance the house?
No, we started. That's the reason. That's how we find out. That's how we find out of it.
Because you were starting to refinance the house?
We wanted to refinance.
Okay, so you tried to refinance, but then they told you there were these huge liens out there.
But right now, everything's so crazy with the market and everything that we were thinking, like, if we do something like that, we probably won't be able to afford the mortgage. I don't work. I don't know when I'm going to be able to go back, and everything changed.
Okay.
Because the liens can sit there if they're not trying to do anything. The liens can
I know the liens can
continue to
sit there, but they're trying to resolve them. They weren't put in place by them.
But they bought them
And-
knowing
and-
that there were large liens on the house.
They didn't buy knowing they were large liens on the house. They probably knew nothing about it. I mean, in all honesty, you're making a statement of fact that they bought it knowing there were liens, and they probably didn't know until now when they tried to refi it. You're assuming a level of sophistication.
Well, I'm
for
just
an
assuming
average
based
home
on the
buyer
fact
that
that
does not exist.
and they bought it
in-
from a friend.
They bought it from a friend. They probably got the normal deal on it. No one went through an average closing agent and got title insurance. You know.
Yeah, that's what my point was. Maybe now's not the time to do the mitigation if they can't pay anything at this time. There's
Well,
nothing
I'm going
pressing.
to reduce the stuffing out of it, and if they can pay that, then it may be a good time.
We only allow one mitigation here.
Well, that's what. You're only allowed one mitigation hearing. If I reduce it to $1,000 each, can you make a $2,000 payment and wipe out these liens within the next 90 days?
90 days.
Okay. Now,
Holidays where I am
We-
really
I mean,
relaxed
we-
about this
look,
stuff.
right now, my AC is not working. And right now, my water heater is not working.
Okay.
So right now, I have
All right.
2,000.
What you need to do then is you need to withdraw this and resubmit it when you have some resources.
But, I'm sorry. I think we can make it work in 90 days, the $2,000. We can make it work. We can ask a friend
It's $2,000.
for $2,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain. I have my AC and my water heater.
Right. Well, I'm just trying to.
I have $2,000 right now, but I need to fix it. That.
Yeah, so in 90 days we can put
We can
money
collect it.
together and
Yeah.
we can do it. Yeah.
Okay. Because
Thank you.
All set?
well, no, I need a date.
210.
By 210.
Yes, sir. On both.
Now, if you don't pay this by 210, it's going to go back to 100,000,
Yeah.
103,000.
Okay.
All right, no problem.
So you really, really want to do this,
So
and then
we-
you could
we-
refinance it and maybe lower your payments or whatever. But if you don't do it, it goes back. You can't do it again. So
Yeah. No,
please,
we're gonna,
please, I've given you a huge
Yeah.
gift.
yeah, and I appreciate it. Thank
So
you.
we need to come here to pay it?
Yes, you will after I sign an order, but it sounds like you probably won't pay it till after the holidays anyway. So
All right.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Have a good evening.
Have a good
Thanks,
night.
you guys too.
At least that kid had the right hand up.
Moving back to the page, thank you, page 1 of the agenda, fine assessment hearings.
Yep. Let's go.
21-0379 is being pulled.
Okay.
21-0505, 10090 Patience Lane, Francisco Rodriguez Jr.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, permit information.
Is this the right picture or no? No picture. Okay. Francisco Rodriguez.
Those are the next two, so the first one should be this case.
All right, so there it is, a signed green card of the COVID variety. So you have service. And 2018 is the last permit. So someone going to tell me there was a garage closed in? Because I have no picture.
We already did tell you that at the first hearing. But yes,
Okay.
the garage was closed in without a
I
permit.
want to hear it again because I don't have a picture showing it, so I just need a little testimony. So you have a garage closed in. What do you want?
It's been out of compliance for 13 days, so we're driving continuing. 0578 Blue Violet Lane did
To verification of
Like Rock Legal, where I remember things. Okay. You have service via another signed COVID green card. You can proceed.
This again is a fine assessment. It's been out of compliance for 13 days, so we're asking for 325 and continuing.
325 plus continuing is granted.
21-0655 126 Ponce de Leon Street, Joyce C. and Danielle M. Bowman.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, they actually signed their green card, so you have service. So we have, I don't remember which house that is.
Sorry, I'm going to go back because I think you were looking down. That's the first one. First one.
That's close to the front of the south end of the neighborhood. Okay. Okay. 325 plus continuing?
Yes, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so it's
That was the last one. We're good.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's in my neighborhood. I know the house. I'm just trying to remember where the house.
Okay, next page, top 21-0377 115 Meadowlark Drive, Christopher G. Evans.
Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Previous order finding violation.
The whole set.
Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, AS 400 permit information. Exhibit 5, pictures.
I guess legally that is a signature,
It's something.
although aesthetically I've seen better. All right, so we have a AS 400 with a 10/12/21 shed permit application.
Yes, 26-57, which is the shed relocated without a permit, is to continue to comply. That has complied.
Okay, so that's the 2657.
Yes, sir.
All right, so my little diagram there, and that's a finding of fact.
Yeah, your
just-
order will say the continue to comply.
And they still have not got the permit for the pavers.
All right, so they put new pavers in. I haven't permitted that. Okay,
Your-
well,
Your previous order required compliance by 10/29,
so the
so it's 300 and continuing.
325 plus continuing,
300
300.
plus continuing, yes, sir.
Oh, a slightly weird one. Keep me awake while I'm signing them. Okay,
Thank you.
granted.
Next is 21-0466 223 Las Palmas Street, TAH 2017-2 Borrower LLC.
Like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, AS 400 permit information. Exhibit 4, picture.
So these professional landlords should know to remove the water heater when
You
it's
would
placed instead of leaving it out in the yard for you to take pictures of. But hey, that's what they do. 325 plus continuing?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me wait 1 second. That also has a almost signature on the green card, so you do have service.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next is 21-0545, 161 Bob White Court, Francisco T. Renteria and Iris N. Toribio.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. It's hard to take a picture of something that doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't see any house numbers, is
No,
what
I
the
didn't.
actual question is.
No, sir, I did not see any house numbers. And then they
And
still
the
had some,
miscellaneous items are the items along the side of the house.
yeah, randomly and on the front
It
porch.
looks like a dog or an animal crate, among
yeah,
other
and
things.
then rubbish laying around.
Okay.
And for your agenda, Special Magistrate, Code Section 06190H, just cross that out. That's being removed.
Okay, so I will draw a line through that.
There was no
So for
description.
14-2 and 6-135 is 325 plus continuing.
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you.
Thank you. 21-0579, 126 Barcelona Drive, BAF Assets 2 LLC.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, picture.
So my question is, when they stop teaching cursive in school?
Just
Because
last
these
year or
people's
something,
signatures
I
are
believe.
horrid. I mean, they have a signed green card, I guess. It's got scratches on it. So you have service 325 plus
325 and
continuing?
continuing. Yes, sir.
325 and continuing is granted.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Violation hearings, case 21-0542, 177 Cordova Circle, Kenneth Guzman.
Code sections 942, 06190A1, 95, 1253. Fence is in disrepair, home is in disrepair, landscape and yard, hedge exceeds allowable height. I observed this violation on 7/6/21, sent out notice of violation on 7/7/21, and I received the green card back on 7/12/21. I sent out a notice of hearing on 9/23/21 and posted that to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, or Exhibit 2, notice of hearing, an affidavit of service. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures.
Okay.
Pardon me.
So this guy at least uses initials, and you can tell it's an RNG. So you do have service.
This one,
This is what date?
compliance by 12/30 or the 1/12 fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
12/30, 1/12, 25.
Thank you. 21-0790, 102 Bilbao Street, Cocola Vakil.
Code section is 716. They altered the canal bank. I observed this violation on 9/2/21. Sent out a notice of violation on 9/3/21. It's signed for on 9/9/21. Sent out a notice of hearing on 9/23/21. And I had an email confirmation from her and her son that it was received. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, AS400 permit information.
What are they doing? It looks like they're just putting plastic on the edge of the canal.
It's called a rip wrap.
Oh, all right. So they're putting a plastic underlayering so they can put rocks on top of it.
Or sod or whatever. They were
riprap is usually rock.
trying to maintain the,
Yeah, they're trying to keep their canal bank from, what's the opposite of accretion? Subsidence? I'm trying to remember that law school class. In one, you gain land. I think that's the accretion.
It's
where-
acceleration is the other. The other one is geologic, but acceleration is the opposite of
The
like
accretion.
or whatever you say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're losing land and they're trying to keep it as opposed to people who are trying to, who are
village.
ending up getting more land added to their property without even trying. So they need a permit.
Yes.
So 12/30,
Yes, 12/30 or 1/12 or $25 a day fine.
granted.
Thank you.
21-0814, 121 Raven Court.
Code section
Hold
0.
on.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
Megerline. I think it might be Mergeline
Mhm.
F. Edwards Estate.
Code section 06190A1. The structure is in disrepair. I observed this violation on 9/9/21. sent out a notice of violation on 9/10/21, sent out a notice of hearing on 10/1/21, and hand-delivered it to the resident. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures.
So she only bought it in 2018 and then promptly passed away. Sad. And it is Margaline. It's probably a family name. All right, so it's hard to maintain your property when you're not around.
Somebody is living there.
So you did give it to, is it a relative or just?
Yes, I believe it's her daughter.
Okay, well, that's the most you can do is pass it along. I mean, you're still allowed to post whether they're deceased or not.
Yeah.
So, 12:30?
12:30 or 1:12 or 25, yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you.
21-0837-132 Heron Parkway, FKH SFR Propco B Holder LP.
Code Sections 12-4C, garbage can in public view. I observed this violation on 9/13/21, sent out a notice of hearing on 9/16/21, and they signed for it on 9/24/21, sent out a notice of hearing on 10/1/21, and got it, it was delivered on 10/7/21. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, picture.
So these people have a very effusive personality, judging by the loops on their signed green card. Very big and bold. I like that. Of course, they didn't do anything to fix it, but hey, we can't get everything out of life. 12.
This one we're asking for compliance by 11/28 or the 12/8 fine assessment hearing or $25 deck fine.
Okay, well, it should be easy to fix the garbage can out of public view.
Yes, sir.
11/28, 12/8, 25 granted.
Thank you. 21-0842 252 La Mancha Avenue, Sunshine Builders Group LLC.
Code Sections 9-1, 12-4C, 2318B, 06190, A1, 3, and 5. New fence without a permit. Garbage can in view. Trailer parked on drive and front lawn. Sidewalk and driveway are stained. I observed this violation on 9/14/21. Sent out notice of violation on 9/21/21. It was received on 9/24/21. Sent out a notice of hearing on 10/13/21, and it was delivered on 10/15/21. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, AS400 permit information.
Well, they bought this one in August. Looks like someone's going to be a flipper here.
Yeah.
And
Now, I was there also the other day, and they got put in a hot water heater without a permit. So,
they're busy fixing everything. They just
Yeah.
don't like permits.
And this one, Special Magistrate Code Section 23-18B, which is the trailer parked on the driveway and front lawn is a finding of fact.
All right, hold on. I got to draw.
And then for the remaining code sections, we're asking for compliance by 11/28 or the 12/8 fine hearing or $25 day fine.
Well, they seem to be professionals. They should be able to do that. Granted.
Thank you. 21-0850 132 Santander Court, FKH SFR C1 LP.
Code Sections 9-1, 942. Fence without a permit. Fence in disrepair. I observed this violation on 9/21/21. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 9/23/21, and it was delivered on 9/29/21. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, USPS tracking. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
How can they do that? Put a zero value on a June 2021 deed with a warranty deed. I mean, it's not even a quick claim. You'd think they would have some sort of value for the doc stamps.
Maybe there's something wrong with the, maybe it's an error on the property appraiser.
I don't know. It's a Cerberus holding, which used to be a hedge fund. So they flipped it to somebody else who seems to have a property a couple up that had the same initials. So someone probably flipped a few hundred houses to someone else.
Yeah.
Just a few hundred, minor stuff. Okay. Let me just check for. You have tracking confirms on these? Yes, so you do have service. Would you like
This one we were asking for compliance by 11/28 or the 12/8 fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
Thank you. 21-0928 is being pulled.
Okay.
To the final page, health and safety, 21-0999, 198 Bob White Road, Charles R. Johnson.
Code sections 1557, high grass and weeds. I observed this violation on 10/23/21. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 10/23/21, and posted it to the property as well. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. There is a house in there.
Oh, really? Where?
It's
I
been-
like the wildness of it all. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure the little critters in the neighborhood are probably just like
but yes,
happy it exists,
there is a house in there.
but I don't know that the neighbors are.
I don't think they like it.
Okay. And
This one
so
we
do
have a-
service via posting, and
And we have an order for you to sign, which we're asking for a one-time abatement, which would allow the village to come back for a fine assessment for the $286, $80 for the mowing, and $206 for admin costs, and appearance at the December 8th fine assessment hearing.
okay. I mean, my riding lawnmower would probably bog out on that stuff. Okay.
And
Is
you
that
had the
it?
order and you signed it? Thank you, sir.
Fine, Hunter.
Thank you.
Thank you,
It
sir.
doesn't get lost amongst the other stuff. All right. Is there anything else to be brought before the special magistrate? This is like the shortest hearing I've had here in decades.
Do you have minutes?
I am signing minutes because she just walked over with them.
Thank you.
So
Thank
I
you.
will let the record reflect that I am signing the October minutes. And is that it?
Yes, sir.
6:35. I got all dressed up for this.